Meal prep often carries a reputation that makes people sigh before they even begin. You probably imagine a Sunday afternoon where the counters are buried under piles of vegetables, pots simmering on every burner, and dozens of plastic containers lined up like little soldiers waiting for the week ahead. And then, by Wednesday, you're already tired of reheating the same dish for the third time. It feels less like freedom and more like a second job. But minimalism offers us another lens. It invites us to step away from the idea that more equals better. More recipes, more steps, more ingredients. In truth, that excess only adds to the mental clutter we're already carrying. Minimalism in the kitchen isn't about restriction. It's about clarity. It's the practice of removing what's unnecessary so the essentials, the meals, the flavors, the joy of eating can actually shine. When I first began simplifying my meals, I had to face an uncomfortable truth. Food had become another form of clutter in my life. Not just the kind you see in the fridge, but the invisible kind that lingers in your mind. My recipe bookmarks were endless. My pantry was crammed with half-used sauces and spices bought for one-day dishes that never came. And every evening, after a long day, I'd stand in front of the fridge with the same question. What should I make? That's the hidden cost of clutter. It drains us through decisions, not just dishes. Too many options don't create freedom. They create fatigue. I wasn't cooking with joy anymore. I was managing a small, chaotic kitchen empire. Minimalist meal prep flips this around. Instead of treating cooking like a daily reinvention project, we approach it like a rhythm. Fewer recipes, fewer random ingredients, fewer late-night scrambles to figure something out. We create simple systems that quietly carry us through the week. And here's the liberating part. Simplifying doesn't strip away flavor, it reveals it. When the noise is gone, you actually taste your food again. A roasted carrot drizzled with olive oil and a pinch of sea salt has a clarity you miss when it's buried under 6 competing sauces. At the heart of minimalist meal prep are 3 guiding ideas. They sound simple, and they are, but they can transform how you relate to food. First, versatility over volume. Instead of stocking your shelves with dozens of single-use items, you choose ingredients that adapt. Brown rice, lentils, roasted sweet potatoes, leafy greens. They're like building blocks. A tray of roasted vegetables can be tucked into a wrap, tossed into a salad, blended into a soup, or plated as a side. One effort, many directions. Second, simplicity with a twist. Minimalism doesn't mean bland. It means each flavor gets room to shine. A spoonful of pesto, a squeeze of lemon, a dash of smoked paprika. These accents don't take hours, but they transform an ordinary base into something memorable. It's like music. You don't need 100 instruments to move someone. Sometimes one violin, played well, fills the whole room. Third, intentional repetition. This might sound counterintuitive in a world obsessed with variety, but repetition brings peace. Familiar staples become a rhythm you can lean on. A pot of grains, a batch of beans, a protein of your choice. They form the backbone of your meals. And rhythm, unlike chaos, creates freedom. Because you're not burning energy on constant novelty, you have more space for creativity or simply to rest. Together, these ideas form a kitchen philosophy that's lighter, calmer, and surprisingly flavorful. Now let's make this concrete. It's Sunday. Instead of juggling 10 recipes, you keep it simple. You simmer a pot of quinoa, nutty, fluffy, endlessly versatile. You slide a tray of carrots, zucchini, bell peppers, and cauliflower into the oven. As they roast, the kitchen fills with a sweet, earthy aroma. At the same time, you prepare one protein, maybe marinated tofu, baked salmon, or a pot of black beans. That's it. 3 small actions. Yet together, they create the foundation for an entire week. From there, meals unfold effortlessly. Quinoa and veggies drizzled with tahini and sesame seeds. A Mediterranean-inspired bowl. Wrapped in a tortilla with salsa, avocado, and beans. A hearty Mexican-style wrap. Tossed in a pan with soy sauce, garlic, and sesame oil. A quick Asian stir-fry. You didn't reinvent the wheel. You didn't spend hours. But every plate feels fresh and distinct. Now pause and imagine the fridge before this shift. Shelves packed with half-empty jars, wilted greens hiding in the back, mystery leftovers you're not sure are safe. Every time you open the door, it's noise. Now imagine the after. Clear containers stacked neatly, golden roasted veggies, a container of quinoa, a protein ready to go, a jar of homemade dressing waiting to tie it all together. You open the door, and instead of stress, you see possibility. That's the power of minimalist prep. Small effort, enormous return. Less waste, less stress, more flavor. Here's the truth most people miss. Minimalist meal prep isn't really about food. It's about what food gives back when you stop letting it drain your time and energy. Think about those nights when dinner feels like a problem to solve. You open the fridge, see a dozen disconnected items, and spend 10 minutes trying to piece together a meal. By the time you eat, you're already worn out. Now picture the opposite. You come home, open the fridge, and it's calm. Roasted vegetables, a grain, a protein. All visible, ready, waiting. In minutes, you're sitting down to something nourishing. No stress, no guilt. Just food that supports your evening instead of consuming it. And the ripple is bigger than dinner. Your shoulders drop. The decision fatigue fades. You have energy left to read, to rest, to talk with someone you love. Food becomes what it was always meant to be. Nourishment, not burden. So if meal prep has ever felt heavy or joyless, try approaching it the minimalist way. Fewer ingredients, simple systems, small touches of flavor that bring everything to life. Because less stress in the kitchen doesn't mean less flavor. It means opening your fridge and seeing calm instead of chaos. It means sitting down to meals that feel fresh, not forced. And it means creating space, not just for food, but for living. Minimalist meal prep isn't only about feeding yourself. It's about savoring your meals, your time, and your life. And that, truly, is flavor worth keeping.